Today on DNVR Buffs Live, it is preseason defensive superlatives day. Who will be the most improved player on the defense? Who will have the most sacks, the most interceptions, the best position group, and much more. Let's dive in. Let's go.
Welcome into the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. It is DNVR Buffs prime time. Day 2 of camp wrapping up right now. But we are going to be making some calls, some predictions, if you will, today.
Yep. First and foremost, I have ascended to a top 5,000 player in the world at College Football 25.
Insane. What's your record now?
60-7.
Holy shit.
And it should be 61-6.
No.
Hold on. I'm not even talking about that. I Mario Cristobal the game away yesterday.
Oh my God. Please share.
I was up 10.
Okay.
With a minute left. He had 0 timeouts.
Okay.
I decided to run the ball.
All right.
Fumbled it. He got it back. Scored a touchdown. Got the onside kick, scored another touchdown in a minute.
Do you need to buy a new controller now?
Nope. I don't get mad, man. I just get
That's
back.
a lie.
I just get back on the sticks.
No, bro, no one blows a lead like that, and you're not a little bit mad.
I was mad at myself.
Of course.
And I was just like, all right. I thought I was going to be able to go to bed. Now I have to play another game to get a win.
Like, not one knee slapping, damn it, nothing out of you?
No, I just laughed. I was just laughing. I was like, you're such an idiot.
Wow.
Could have kneaded out. But it's all right. When you've won 59 other games, what's one loss?
That's true. I mean, you still made it to top 5,000.
I did. Yeah, I think I'm like 40. Well, when I logged off, I was like 48.05.
Well, you got to get back on it tonight then, because you're probably already dropped below.
So addicting now, too.
It's
because now that I have like something I'm chasing, I don't even know what I'm chasing.
Yeah,
but
I was
just get ranked as high as I can. I know eventually I'm going to get to the level of like players who just cheese it up the whole time.
Yep.
And that'll probably be the end of it. But right now it's fun. I'm actually playing people who are like pretty even with me. Every game's close. I came back from down 28-0 in a game last night.
That's insane with the 3-minute quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I was beating up on some kids on online last night.
I have to imagine this dude thought I was just hustling him. Like,
yeah.
Because at 28-0, I was just like, all right, I kind of have figured out what he wants to do. He was playing with Kansas and just did spread every play and then just booted out with Jalen Daniels, and it was just like impossible. He would just buy all this time. So then I started spying him with the edge of the opposite side.
Yep.
And doing this defense that I found that kind of like creates like a fence in the deep middle that, you know, he was just trying to get guys around there and got like 3 picks in a row off of him. It was fun. All right, that's enough. I did see you beaten up though.
Yeah. I'm still working my way up the ranks, but we'll get there. It was fun though.
Hell yeah.
I surprised myself a little bit, not gonna lie. All right, let's get into it. So with tomorrow being Coach Livingston Day at camp, figured why not? Let's talk about some superlatives, make some predictions on this defense.
All right.
We've got 7 categories here. Some of them are stats. Some of them are more broader topics. Let's just start with sacks. Who's going to lead the team in sacks this season? Who are you going with?
My guy.
Sammy Sacks?
Sammy Sacks.
All right.
Didn't give him that nickname to get second on the team in sacks.
Well, he's Sammy TFL, Sammy Picks now. Like,
yep. He is.
I can't keep up.
Sammy personal fouls one time.
Do you see that they put... Okay, sorry, chat. They put out a hot fix for the AI roughing penalties.
Oh, no, but I haven't gotten them anymore, so that's nice.
Yeah, so they're fixing that.
All right.
I can't tell you how many drives I've had ruined with that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I am going with BJ Green.
Ooh, good pick. Good pick.
What do you think the number is? How many sacks do you need to get to
10.
lead the team in sacks? 10.
10.
So someone else is nipping at the heels at like 9 or 8 then.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sammy Sacks is Samuel Okunlola.
You're not Coach
Obviously.
RK right now. You've got to...
I've been calling him Sammy Sacks since the day he committed.
You have, actually. You have. All right. Most tackles on the team. We spoke to Trevor yesterday.
Yep.
Full season at linebacker now.
God, this is hard. Who led last year?
I'm looking it up. It was
Shiloh?
Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. Oh, man, I hope not. Nothing against Shiloh. I just want them to be tackling players closer to the line of scrimmage than where he lines up.
So the closest lineman in tackles was Jordan Dominic with 51. That was 5th on the team last year. So the top 4 were all DBs or linebackers.
Who was it? Who was the second one you mentioned? Or that's still on the team?
So we've got Shiloh was in 1st, Levante Bentley was in 2nd, Trevor was in 3rd, Cam was 6th, Amari McNeil was 10th, Travis was 11th.
All right. Give me Nakai Hillgreen.
I think that's the leader in the clubhouse. And
Didn't he have like 100 tackles last year? Maybe not that many. Here, you can talk. I'll look that up.
I already looked it up. He had 73 last
Okay,
year.
not quite 100.
But that would have
But
led the
he
team.
led the team, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'll do the same. But I got to shout out Trevor too, I think.
Yeah, my only thing about Trevor is I think that he's naturally better at going backwards, and the rest of the room is better at going forwards. And so I think he's going to be put in situations where he is in coverage a little bit more, whereas Nakai or whoever ends up being, the other starting linebacker, not to say Trevor has all spot locked in, but if he were to be a starter, will be lined up more to stop the run.
That's fair.
And honestly, my gut kind of tells me Bent.
I mean, look, going straight forward and just attacking the football at the line of scrimmage is exactly what he does best.
Yeah.
I think a little bit of what you said and what Trevor said yesterday with the defensive line just being better is just going to free up all the linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we learned that yesterday. Trevor is a legitimate candidate to start. So with that, put 2 and 2 together, I think he definitely has a shot to lead the team in tackles.
Love it.
Most interceptions. Last year, it was Cam and Travis with 3. Trevor had 2. Shiloh had 1. And Jaquez had 1. That was it. We only had, 10 interceptions?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of them came early. A lot of them. Both the Trevors came early. Cam had 1 against Nebraska. And he had his 3 before USC, right? Because he was leading the Pac-12 in picks at that time.
No, Cam got his third against USC.
Okay.
Remember, it was actually kind of a big play in terms of making it a game.
Yes.
It was that weird thing where they took a huge lead and they were kind of trading touchdowns with them after that. And then Caleb just ill-advised throw, kind of hucks it down there off his back foot, and Cam went and got it. recency bias would make you want to think about Trevor Woods here, but I'm not going that direction. I'm gonna go Shiloh.
All right.
I think that this defense is going to ask him to rob a little bit more, almost like play like a honey badger role.
Yeah.
And allow him to use his instincts, which are top tier, to go attack the football. A lot of the things he was asked to do last year was not that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of, manning a zone back there and whatnot. I think this defense is going to allow him to kind of start the play with his feet planted flat and watch the quarterback and then react to that. So I'm going to pick Shiloh.
I'm going to pick Preston Hodge. I think just playing opposite of Travis is a big benefactor in that. And then also his ability to just line up all over the field. I mean, he could play in the slot. He could play out wide too. Even if you wanted to drop him in like some safety looks too, I think he could do that. So I think he'll be just super versatile. And for that reason, he'll be hard to key in on, and he's going to get targets because they're not throwing at 12.
No.
So they're just going to go any other way. And I think Preston will be in a lot of positions to make plays. We saw it in the spring game.
Yeah, I want to believe that teams will give Travis a chance. I mean, I guess he had 2 last year. No, he had 3.
He had 3.
He had 3 last year and could have been 5. So maybe we're overestimating the intelligence of the other teams. Obviously, he almost created all of those out of thin air.
Yeah.
But what's to say you can't do that again?
Yeah. We might be underestimating their arrogance, too, I think.
That's what I mean, yeah. And then if you do get him to play a little bit of slot, 3rd and short, and you line him up on the slot on the open side of the field and just allow him to say, like, if you throw anything short, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to look back and say, how did we not pick Travis Hunter?
I think there's a bit of that too, for sure. But I think, with what you said, him playing in the slot and stuff as well, I think that means he'll be closer to the line of scrimmage. That'll give him opportunities to do that stuff, to bait and, kind of pick things off underneath. But I think he's going to get his head in there a lot more and get more tackles this year because of that. Next, we've got most defensive touchdowns. We had 1 last year. Shiloh.
I'll stick with it.
Shiloh?
Yep. Because I've already got him getting the most picks, which means he has the most opportunities.
Right. I think I will just go with Travis.
Okay. Travis getting a defensive touchdown. I hope Travis gets a defensive touchdown at Folsom.
We need one.
That will feed families.
It will. It will. We'll do one more here before we hit break. Most improved player.
Okay. So an important part of this is where you started.
Right.
Meaning, like, Travis isn't winning most improved player. And
transfers are probably ruled out then.
Yeah, because we don't really know how good they were last year. I'm just going to go to the first name that came to my mind the second that you said this. Amari McNeil.
Okay.
Not to say he wasn't good last year, but he played his best football at the very tail end of the season. And I think the same could be said about Levante Bentley. But I think this year Amari McNeil has a chance to show that he's taken a big step forward.
Will it be taken the wrong way if I pick Shiloh?
I mean, we're in a podcast form, so you can explain so that it isn't taken the wrong way.
So he's talked about it a lot, that he wants to improve in terms of playing single high, middle of the field stuff, his range. He said that's where he wants to really improve the most this season, and that's really where he can improve the most as a player. And if he does that, I think he not only solidifies himself as one of the best players on this team, but one of the best safeties in the country, and the production will follow because of that, and so will the accolades and eventually the draft status.
I love that. he already makes game-changing plays a lot. Mm-hmm. He has the wow factor.
Yeah.
As a safety. If he starts, manning that deep third and going and making plays on the ball in that way, like I said, I think he's going to get a chance to rob the middle a little bit. If he starts doing that stuff, then yeah, his name will be elevated into conversations that I think he already deserves to be in, but he isn't in quite yet.
Defensive players, chat. Defensive players. Tajay McCoy, days to come, says some Travis J love.
Yeah.
I'll also throw out Arden Walker.
Great pick.
There's a few other guys too.
By the way, we'll do the offensive versions of these probably on Thursday.
Yes. Shout out to our friends over at UC Health. Coach Prime endorsed. And they're just all over out here. UC Health, encouraging you guys to live like there is a tomorrow. They've got plenty of stories up on their website of patients who are taking care of their mental health and the ways that they do that. We've talked about that a lot on this show lately, about eliminating stigma when it comes to mental health. So if you want to be inspired, go check out uchealth.org/tomorrow. Again, tons of patient stories like David Schlitt, who's a Colorado teenager, loves being active outdoors, is a prime example of someone taking care of their mental health for tomorrow. If you want to learn more about David's story and see more inspiring patient stories from UC Health, again, it's uchealth.org/tomorrow. And you can learn what it means to live like there is a tomorrow. Also, shout out to Toyota, proudly represented on the banner behind the players and coaches now at press conferences. Love to see that. Colorado football, Big 12, and Toyota. That's those are three things that I love quite a lot. So shout out to Toyota. The best cars on the road as far as I'm concerned. Reliable, dependable, exciting features on there. Stuff that you probably didn't even know cars could do yet if you don't have an updated car. So check out Toyota. Get over to our Front Range Toyota stores. And find someone who's probably a DNVR fan, maybe a Buffs fan too, that can help you out. You can check them out over at AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corbin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Like I mentioned, Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and also the official vehicle of DNVR. Can you scroll up in chat for me, Alyssa? We have Cam, there's JB, some more Travis J, Amari McNeil. That's good. So many offensive players. Yeah. Trevor. Is Trevor a real candidate for this? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess you'd have to grade him on the linebacker play from last year, which I would say wasn't bad, but also wasn't impactful. I think you do have to factor in some of the safety play, though. I mean, with that, you saw the talent, you saw the football ability. Yeah, but if we're talking about most improved, I think the baseline would be his play at linebacker and how he improved from there. Okay, I see what you're saying. I think JB's a big one for this as well. Yep. Love JB. That was probably about it. Best position group or most impactful position group on the defensive side of the ball this season? I'm going to go with defensive line. I like that. And it's up to you if you want to include, if they're running a 4-2-5, then I think you would include the edge, which maybe they're going to do. I think so. So then you would include the edge players, but I'm mostly thinking about the interior linemen here. And I think they're going to get a lot of credit just because of how much they've improved. Torian Carter, Block Boley, Shane Cokes, Amari McNeil, the list goes on, Rain Buell, of guys who are going to make an impact here. And they did not make a big impact last year. Yep. It was a weak spot. So
By the way, did you see, I think it was Uncle Neely had the video of the post-game or the post-practice just kind of breakdowns, and Block Bully is standing behind Coach Prime. He looks, I don't even know how to explain it. Doesn't look like a real person. Like, his build is so insane.
Yeah.
So anyways, that group to me is going to make such a big difference from what we saw last year that they're going to get a lot of praise.
I think you're right, and I think that's the pick. But just to throw another group out there, I think that the defensive line will be good, but that will allow the secondary to just make even more plays, lock down more teams, and I think force teams to truly be one-dimensional in terms of they can only run the ball on this team because of the talent in the secondary, but then, you have that pass rush too, so they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But you're right. Most valuable player. Look, it's probably Travis. So besides Travis Hunter,
Okay, we're taking Travis off the board.
who is the most valuable player?
Again, I have to kind of stay in line with my own projections here. I've got Shiloh leading the team in interceptions and touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's got to be my MVP then.
I think I go with BJ Green.
Nice.
I think, to lead the team in sacks, and like you said, if it is 10 or close to that, that's the most sacks we've seen at Colorado in a long time.
Yep.
For a leading sack getter. So that would affect the pass rush, like I just said, obviously. And, he's just ready.
You got to be trolling if you're still putting offensive players in the chat. I'm losing it over here.
247.
If you're trolling, it's working.
247 put out a list. This one is from Brad Crawford. It's projecting college football's boom or bust players for the 2024 season. There's like 9 players on this list. And the number 1 player at the very top is Colorado's Jordan Seaton. The blurb says the only true freshman... That's not true, by the way, because Dylan Raiola is on this list. But Jordan Seaton needs to be great for Colorado's offense to get where it needs to be this fall. Shedeur was sacked more than any other power conference QB last season. And Seaton is one of the focal points along a restructured offensive front for the Buffs. He played well during the spring and will work within a transfer-laden group to try and ensure Colorado's passing game and rushing attack can get off the ground in the Big 12.
I hate this.
You hate it?
Yep. And the reason I hate it is because a lot of times in 2024, this is the way we look at things as boom or bust.
Yeah.
I think it should be totally reasonable for Jordan Seaton to be somewhere in between.
That's fair.
As a
Yes.
true freshman, starting at left tackle in the Big 12 Conference, he's going to have ups and downs.
Yep.
He's not going to boom and be perfect and be an all-conference player, or if he's not that, then he's a bust. That's just not how it works.
Yeah.
And so maybe the whole concept of this list doesn't really make sense. But I think we're going to see some inconsistencies, and that's totally okay for a true freshman left tackle. Of course, that we hope that it's, 90-10 in terms of consistencies versus inconsistencies. But I just don't like this idea that, it's a boom or bust situation. He's either going to save Colorado's offensive line or he's going to be the reason they fall apart. It's not how it works.
Well, MLN said it in the chat, and we've talked about it too. Seaton can have a Caden Proctor-type freshman season, and his first month last year was rough, Caden Proctor. But then he kind of became like a strong point for that offensive line, really, on their playoff run. And I think that ultimately, that becomes a boom, right? But it's kind of, I think, what you said, where there's a middle ground, but there's also like degrees to it too, where maybe Jordan just doesn't start off hot in September, but he finds his footing for October, November, and that sets the tone for the Buff season.
Yeah, and I think there's just a lot of patience that is required in this situation. And I hope that fans and, pundits alike give a true freshman some grace here.
Mm-hmm.
He is incredibly high rated. He's already carrying himself at a, upperclassman level.
Yeah.
But there's going to be an adjustment from playing in high school to going up against some of these players in the Big 12 who have been playing in college for 4 years. So I hope that we show some patience with Jordan Seaton.
Yes. Someone in the chat, Girls Club, asked, what's the definition of boom or bust? They wrote, not to be confused with X factors. These players are expected to be game changers at their position and will be leaned on to make plays with supreme expectations stacked on their shoulders.
Okay.
So I don't think Well-Off's out yet.
Ooh, you want to throw in one more superlative?
Yeah, what do you got?
Defensive Assistant Coach of the Year.
I mean, it's Coach Lewis / Coach Slap.
Okay.
Easy.
I'll probably roll with you. Those two are they fun to watch play off each other.
Did you watch the secondary look on Well-Off yesterday?
The what?
It's like I don't know what it's like on Well-Off clips. I don't think it's on Well-Off.
No, I did not see this.
But it's like a secondary. It's just a second video of practice yesterday.
Okay, second angle.
It's basically a Warren Sapp highlight reel.
Nice.
Just him doing his thing. But man, are those guys intense? Coach Lewis too.
Oh yeah.
Like
Coach
putting
Sapp,
the fear of God into you type of stuff.
Yes, Coach Sapp obviously has the gold jacket, but Coach Lewis has the higher title, and he's not letting it be confusing at all whose room that is.
Yep.
And not to say there's any competition between those two, but I'm just saying, like, he's making sure that he lays down the law early with those guys.
Yep. So yeah, anyways. We haven't gotten stuff from camp today yet. We'll watch that all today or later today and talk about it a bit tomorrow. But Will Sheppard, we talked about him yesterday, the 2 touchdowns that he scored.
This is exciting.
And the Colorado Buffaloes football account on Twitter is putting up some stuff from camp already today, and it's all Shep.
So there's a lot that I'm thinking about here. But first and foremost, I think it should be mentioned that this is their first practices together.
Mm-hmm.
Remember if you were handicapping who was going to have the most catches through the, obviously we don't have a chart of this, but who's going to make the big impact plays in the first couple days of camp, you would pick someone that has already practiced with Shedeur and say, it's going to take a second for that chemistry to develop between him and Shep. And we know that they worked out together in the offseason a little bit. But for Will Sheppard to come in and just all day, every day be making these plays is incredibly exciting for me. And as we start to, move forward in predicting who's going to lead the team in catches and touchdowns later in the week, I think that these first 2 days from Will Sheppard should be highly, highly considered. And I mentioned it yesterday, but the way that Shedeur can place the football gives someone with a frame of that size such an advantage because Shedeur can put it in places where only Will can go get it.
Yep.
There was the touchdown that a lot of people showed yesterday. I was actually more impressed with the when he was coming across the field and went up and kind of snagged it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's a place that only Will Sheppard can go on that football field.
Yep. I mean,
and probably Travis.
We talked about it a lot this offseason. Since the minute he committed, really, that Will Sheppard could be the Zay Weaver replacement. And I think that's why he was Shedeur's favorite target last year, was because, like Zay, Shep is a vet. He's been around there. He's played with, frankly, some bad quarterbacks. Now he's getting to play with the best one of his career. I'm dying.
I'll take over for you for a second.
Please.
Because someone asked a question and said, was C5 not at practice yesterday? We saw him. So he was there. So no worries about, we don't have to start a where is C5. He was there, and we saw him. So yeah. there you go.
You want to tell the people about Lucy?
Sure. Big shout out to Lucy. While some nicotine pouches are hard to find right now, Lucy products not hard to find. All you got to do is go to lucy.co/buffs to find your nicotine pouches and get 20% off your first order. The flavors are awesome. The cans that they come in are awesome. They have a little disposal on the top of them, so if you're not in a convenient position, you don't have to be like the people who just throw them on the ground disgustingly. You can file them away for later when you're closer to a trash can. A lot of great things from our friends over at Lucy. So go to lucy.co and use the code BUFFS to get 20% off your first order. And they have free shipping plus a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical.
And then shout out to our friends over at Bet365. It's pretty much preseason betting season. Get your futures in, take advantage of those lines that are up right now that you think are wrong. And the Buffs are going to be in play on a lot of that, I think, this year. You can sign up with the code DNVR365. All you need to do is deposit $10 to cash in on the bet and get offer. For someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Someone made a great point in the comments. Can you imagine how good this feels for Will Sheppard?
Oh, it has to.
With all due respect to the quarterbacks he was playing with at Vandy,
yeah.
I imagine there's plenty of times where he knows that the back shoulder is open in the end zone, and he turns to make that play, and the ball's 3 feet away from him, and he can't get to it in time, or it's early or it's late. With Shedeur, just he streaks up the sideline. He sees that there's only one corner on him. Let me put this up and away, and let him catch this and score a touchdown. Will Sheppard just has to feel like his draft stock is going up on a daily basis.
If you guys watched him at Vanderbilt too, he was doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Still, even with the bad quarterback play, when the ball was there and he was given an opportunity to make a play on it, he did a lot of times. Contorting his body, reaching back on the sideline, going vertical, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So before I almost died there, I was trying to say that I think it's a credit really to Shedeur's ability as a quarterback and his ball placement, as you were saying too, because that's what allowed him to succeed so much with Zay. You think back to TCU, the bomb down the sideline, just perfect right over the shoulder. Yeah. How many times did, Shedeur talked about it at the Super Bowl, the timing routes, that was something that really gave him issues last year. I don't think he had issues with timing with Zay last year at all.
No.
So I think you're going to see a lot of that from Will Sheppard this year, just right place, right time. And big plays just because Shedeur is so accurate and can get the ball exactly where it needs to be.
I know. You don't want to overreact to the first 2 days of camp.
Right.
But there is something very special brewing there. I just have a feeling about it.
And then BJ Green, we've talked about a lot today, has been named to the Outland Trophy watch list. There were 75 players that made the watch list. This is for the best defensive tackle in the country, I believe.
Love it.
He's the only Colorado player on the list, but he's there.
Good for him, man.
We're going to have a lot of watch lists to talk about this year. I think we only had a few last year, really. But Ray Guy, we were kind of talking about it yesterday.
By the way, watched Unk's video from yesterday. It's got a nice little bit in there with Mate. Not Mark Vassett. Mark Vassett.
Vassett?
Yep.
Why didn't he tell us this?
I don't know, but we've already... Old habits die hard. That's a whole year of saying it wrong that we have to unwire now. But he said, you have to be talking about me at least to say my name wrong, so I appreciate everyone who says my name anyway.
I love that guy.
Yeah, me too. Mark Vassett. Mark Vassett.
And then just a little bit of the, I guess, wider news here. We'll start with the 5430 Alliance, who's announced their Stampede to the Big 12.
Yes, sir.
Basically, they are just trying to rally Buff Nation and rally the support for the university as it stands right now and generate more income ahead of joining the Big 12 officially here, which I think is a couple weeks, early August. I think it's official.
A couple weeks. I think it's like a couple days.
Is it a couple days?
Yes. But they're trying to raise $250,000 to enhance NIL opportunities for the athletes. And they've got some kind of like prizes and stuff. If you join, if you donate 50, you get a free 5430 Alliance t-shirt. If you donate 100, you get a chance to win an autographed copy of EACFB. 1,000, you get a chance to win 2 tickets to the Tyler Childers concert at Folsom Field, which I'll be there. 10,000 plus is an exclusive facilities tour and a chance to win an autographed CU jersey. And then the highest contributor gets 2 pregame field passes to a CU football home game. I don't know what this is, but it says additionally you can own a piece of Folsom Field history with stadium letters available for $19.90 each, celebrating the Buffs national championship. What is a stadium letter?
Only thing I can think of is maybe something from when they redid the scoreboard that they had to take down.
Yeah, and actually I was talking to someone recently who was redoing the, I don't even know what you would call it. Part of the facade was just kind of worn out, so they redid that. So maybe it's from that.
The concrete thing?
No, if you're walking into Folsom from the south,
okay,
on the east side,
okay,
you know how you walk in and there's where the boxes are, underneath it,
yes,
and there's like all that nice stone and whatnot.
Yeah.
They redid one of the signs, or probably all of the signs that kind of hang below there.
Okay,
so it could be something like that.
August 2nd. Thank you, Nicole. That's when CU officially joins the Big 12. So yeah, this is just kind of a rally for the collective here.
See, you did what I did. Didn't it feel like August is kind of still far away to you?
Yeah, and we're
2 days.
2 days away. Crazy. Last thing I've really got today, we briefly touched on this, but it is going to become a major factor, especially after the season. The House versus NCAA settlement that happened on Friday.
Oh.
What?
Hold on. So, yeah, it is from the old scoreboard. And right underneath the scoreboard, it said Folsom Field. So you can buy one of the letters.
There you go. That's tight.
Damn. If there's an R in there, I might have to get it.
So with this House versus the NCAA settlement, there's a lot to get into. This is based on the revenue sharing model, which again is schools will be able to share $21 to $22 million annually with athletes. That figure equates to 22% of the average Power 5 school's revenue, and that will rise 4% each year. It's basically the new salary cap. But there's some things that have kind of come out from this settlement. A lot to do with NIL, actually. So first off, there's been a lot of talk about collectively bargaining for the athletes with this new revenue sharing model. It doesn't sound like that will be able to happen. This is from On3. They talked to Steve Berman, who's a co-lead counsel for the plaintiffs. He said that the only way for the NCAA to completely insulate itself from further antitrust lawsuits is by their opening the door to athlete collective bargaining or securing an antitrust exemption from Congress. The NCAA won't do the former and is aggressively pursuing the latter.
Sounds like a lot of legal mumbo jumbo to me.
Basically, the NCAA is doing what they can to make sure the players cannot collectively bargain. Yes.
How lovely. What a lovely sport that we love and support so ardently.
Man. They're trying to limit some collectives, or all collectives here, really.
Yeah.
They're trying to prohibit donor-driven collectives from providing athletes with compensation packages that are not tied to endorsement deals. So basically real NIL, which is something we've talked about a lot because Colorado does real NIL.
Yeah. It's just such a weird thing. We just got done talking about the 5430 and supporting them. But also, I've been honest this entire time that I think the best thing for college football long term is what we're talking about here. So it's one of those things where it's like, there's no hiding that you need this right now. You need to support collectives right now because that is how teams are getting players.
Yes.
But long term, I support the idea of making NIL deals be real NIL deals, which, by the way, was the original idea.
Exactly.
Until donors somewhere started figuring out a way to skirt the system. So I'll also say this. If we were to get to a point where you actually have to get a real deal to secure NIL, that's Advantage Colorado.
Oh, 100%.
And that's exciting. Like, Kansas State can raise money from their NIL collective. They are not getting their players Gatorade, Google, Louis Vuitton deals.
Yep, blenders, all that
Blender,
stuff.
yeah, all of that stuff. They, of course, they can get, Joe's Tire Shop down the street to support a player.
Or Nebraska's HVAC company or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking clowns. But it's Advantage Colorado if you got to get a real NIL deal.
This says athletes will be required to report deals of more than $600 with third-party collectives to a newly created clearinghouse. The NCAA is also creating a public database as it tries to get a handle on what it calls, in quote, fair market value. Deals that are not deemed to be for a, quote, valid business purpose could put the athlete's eligibility in jeopardy and subject the school to a fine.
All right. Stay tuned. I hate this, by the way. I hate how every single week we're talking about something changing in college football. We desperately need stability. I think it hurts interest from the outside.
Yep. I mean, this is a lot of what this is based off of. It's going to be messy when they fix this process, or the process of fixing the sport, really, but you don't really have a choice. It's kind of necessary at this point.
Yep. And a great point from the girls' club, especially the way 5430 is structured now. It's primed and ready for real NILs, exactly. And that's a credit to the whole organization over there for like really putting themselves in a position to be run properly.
Well, CU's got the whole NIL exchange and stuff too, so.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff with Title IX that's going to be involved that's going to pop up as well. Of course, there's the rules that if you expand or add a sport, you need to add a women's sport too. But this is now having to do with the revenue sharing and those sports being affected by it. My throat is so dry.
What is going on, bro?
I don't know, I'm dying.
R.I.P. Jake. All right. Are we ready to get into questions? All right.
Please.
You just nod. I'll handle the rest of this. I'll ask you questions. Give me a yes or no. All right. Let's dive into the questions, see what the people have to say today. And the first one comes in from... Cam. Did anyone see the college football headlines post that said Juju to CU is 60% in terms of confidence? As much as that sounds great to me, I don't know if I'm just believing arbitrary numbers being thrown out by Twitter accounts.
Yeah, good for college football headlines.
All right. Next. Take your time, bro. Just don't talk for like
dying.
2 minutes. I'll handle this. Travis said, RK, how's your significant other dealing with your addiction? For those of you who didn't see the beginning of the show, he's referring to my addiction to college football 25, not an actual addiction. Although it is probably shares some qualities with actual addictions. She's handling it great. She has developed a much healthier addiction to reading. Something I cannot relate to in any way, shape, or form. But while I just rip college football 25 all night, she just reads books. So her brain growing, my brain rotting. Hopefully it doesn't hurt me long term.
Video games are good for relationships is what I heard.
I will say, like, there's a lot of, like, problem-solving skills you have to employ while playing the video game. There's, like, perseverance. I mean, I was down 28-0 last night. I could have quit like every other loser in the world.
Yep.
But I stuck through it. And so I guess playing video games is actually better for your brain than just, like, watching TikTok.
Definitely.
Talked myself back into it, baby. Let's go game. But yeah, I think she told me she's read like 17 books in the last 2 weeks.
Jesus.
I'm like, bro, that's
like a
more
book
than
a day,
I'm like,
almost.
that's more books than I've read in my life.
Come on, you got to give yourself more credit than that. You've read more books than that.
I don't know about that. I forged my way through a lot of school reading.
Shout out Spark Notes.
Spark Notes, just like bullshit ability. Yeah, I avoided reading as hard as I could in school. All right, next one. Any word on Adalius Thomas and why he's no longer with the team?
No idea.
No word.
I'll find out. Try and find out tomorrow.
Okay. Next one from James. Question: which position coach will be the best position coach for the Buffs this year? We kind of talked a little bit about that earlier. I think it's one of the trenches.
I mean, both new, and both have a lot on their shoulders, and I think that both have the ability to deliver too.
Yep. It's crazy to say Will be a better pure wide receiver. I can't see again. Than Travis.
No.
I think that is.
Or wait, it
Is it crazy?
crazy.
Yes.
Yes.
It is crazy.
Yes.
They both have different skill sets, but when you look at what makes a pure wide receiver, I would say it's a combination of route running, speed, strength, jumping ability. Mm-hmm. What else? Anything else? I guess blocking
ball
ability,
skills,
ball skills. Yeah. Travis is like 10 out of 10 on almost every single one of those except for strength, which he's also improved greatly this offseason.
If he's close to 200 pounds, then I think 190 was his target.
What is King Mars laughing about so much? Yeah, let's get the likes to match the views. Great comment from See You Aunties. All right, next one from Charles Morris. How is Coach Prime going to use the new roster limits next season? He doesn't have the max players on the roster this year. It'll be interesting to see. He just likes to have scholarships in his back pocket at all times.
You'd probably know better than anyone at this point. We got a lot of seniors moving on. There's going to be a lot of room to fill.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
for sure. MLN, is there a school of thought that favors players and coaches that live in hotel rooms / dorms for fall camp, so all hours are football-centric ventures, letting everyone stay at their homes versus letting everyone stay at their homes and commuting? I'll be honest. If it were my team, I would have them in the dorms or a hotel room or something along those lines.
yeah.
I think that team bonding time is really invaluable. I will say these guys are at the facility from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, most of them are probably just going home and going to bed anyway. Mm-hmm. But I actually wasn't a part of it, but the old stories from when the Broncos used to have training camp in Greeley, and the whole team would stay up there, the entire camp. Every story I've ever heard was just like about how someone became best friends with someone else, or
Right.
The crazy thing was there was like one big bar that everyone went to there. So the media would just be hanging out at the bars with the players every night after practice, which is kind of sick. But in general, camp, these guys spend a lot of time together regardless, but I lean towards everyone kind of being in the same living situation as well.
We've talked about team bonding a lot. Why stop now?
True. Tyler Brown, question, RK. Allie approaches Coach RK in the offseason, making him choose between her and coaching CU. What is he choosing? I mean, that's the easiest decision ever. I would choose Allie. But I love her so much because she would never make me do something like that.
Congrats, bro.
Thanks, Jake. Dave says, Dave Rich, any word on other NFL guys coming to camp to help out T.O., Ed Reed? No, those guys just show up, at least according to us.
I mean, yeah, we're not going to hear about it, but I'm sure we'll see them, a bunch of people very soon.
Yep.
I mean, last year it was crazy. You'd just be sitting there waiting for media, and you just, oh, that guy was a gold jacket, like Hall of Famer, just walking right by.
Yep. Or like, Unc would just send us a clip, like, look who's at practice today.
Yep.
Like, it's Byron Leftwich. We're like, oh, shit.
T-Lou, how drastically will Travis Hunter's offensive playing time go down, being that there's so many great receivers now?
Not at all.
He's the best. I
shouldn't say not at all. Not drastically at all. It could go down by 10-ish%. Yeah, bro, why are you munching?
I'm sorry. I am literally dying.
You can just leave, bro.
You're just going to kick me off like that?
You gave me like half-hearted, happiness for my life. You're crunching ice into the mic.
I'm focusing on like breathing right now.
Go downstairs, grab some water, come back. This isn't it doesn't have to be so formal.
It's all right. We're almost done.
All right. What else do we have? I'm Heaven's Demon. RK and Jake, do you think CFB 25 will update the coach cap to go past 50/51 and an ability to get more skill points? I'm not even that far into it yet, so I don't even understand what you're talking about.
I hope so. I was like digging into it more last night, the coaching tree and all that. There's some really cool stuff in there.
Hell yeah. Any confidence level on Evan Haynes committing to Colorado? Not really. I haven't felt any energy around that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
DNVR ASMR. Might be a thing, dude.
Sorry, guys.
So try it out on your Twitch channel. See if people like it.
I will. A lot of accusations in the chat today. That's crazy, too.
I mean,
insane.
All of your choking did make your eyes quite red.
Yeah, because my brain is lacking oxygen because I'm
You guys can't
dying.
see it, but every time that Alyssa puts the one shot on me, Jake just pulls out his vape pen and just takes a huge
Jesus
rip.
H, man.
And then he blows it into his shirt.
Oh
It's
my
crazy,
God,
dude.
Please. You're not helping these allegations right now.
All right.
I go on a B-Watch show, I get allegations of it.
You were getting allegations on there that night?
Yes.
Damn, bro. I mean, it was Sunday. No one would have blamed you.
I mean, if I'm not going to smoke before our show, I will definitely not smoke before going on someone else's show.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I can't even imagine doing that. I have drank before the show for sure, but I always end up regretting that the next day. I'm like, what dumb shit did I say on some post-game show where I had one too many in the stands?
I don't think I've even been drunk on a show.
We were drinking quite a bit during some of those watch-alongs.
I wasn't drunk, though.
Yeah, fair enough. Anything else? We got two more here. Nate Edwards, it's going to be insane with all the wide receivers who do the defense double. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know that either.
No idea. Charles S., do y'all have anything planned for Colorado versus Kansas in KC?
We have plans to eat a fuck ton of barbecue food.
Hell yeah. Burnt ends, baby.
Yep. We have plans to have a tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
We have plans to watch the Buffs win. And what game of the season is that? It's like November-ish.
I believe early November-ish, yeah.
So we have plans to celebrate the Buffs being in first place in the Big 12 after that.
This game takes place on second to last game, November 23rd. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, I know. Arrowhead already sucks ass. But Arrowhead, when it's cold, it's all windy out there because there's nothing for miles to block any wind.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to that. But I am very much looking forward to eating barbecue. Like, we'll probably be there for, I don't know, 6 meals. Mm-hmm. All 6. Different barbecue spot.
Did we talk to a Kansas player about that?
No, because they were the same day as the Buffs, so we were occupied that day. We should have, though, man. That would be the only ones who probably actually have good answers.
I blame the Big 12.
I wonder what UCF guys would have said.
I don't know. Like,
by the way, some Oklahoma State fans like caught wind of the fact that their players were mentioning like Olive Garden and Qdoba, and they got so mad. Like, they were mad at their own guys.
Well, someone in Stillwater needs to step up and open up a good local restaurant then.
Well, apparently there are, and that's why they were so mad. But it just sounds like the classic, I don't know, the classic college town, right? They've got like their version of the sink and their version of Cosmos and all that. Arrowhead is not God's country.
Yikes. Definitely not.
A lot of thoughts on KC barbecue in there.
I mean, have you ever wondered why sunsets are orange and blue?
I haven't, because I already know the answer.
It's because God's a Broncos fan.
Yes. I don't know why he's doing this to us, though, but, you know, toughest battles, strongest soldiers type of situation.
Something like that, man. I don't know.
You guys should see Jake when the Broncos guys come in to the office, and I'm like, how'd they look today, boys? And they're like, nah, I don't know. It's not looking too good. And then Jake just starts having like a meltdown in the middle of the office. He's like, bro, just give me another shitty season. Like, what the hell? And I told them yesterday, I'm like, we can't talk about this around Jake anymore. He's just not mentally equipped to handle this type of news.
Just get me to September. I want to see it for myself, and then I'll make my own judgments.
I do think that like Bo Nix is going to make some cool plays with his feet this year that get people excited. That's about all I'm looking forward to.
No comment. It's going to get messy.
Fucking fly.
We'll be back tomorrow. We got Coach Livingston on the podium up in Boulder for day 3. We'll have stuff on the YouTube channel, of course, all the pressers, Uncle Neely. And then we'll be live at 3:15.
Yes. Also, we know that KU is in Lawrence and Arrowhead is in Kansas City, but the game is at Arrowhead this year.
Yes.
That's why we're talking about Kansas City. All right, 3:15 tomorrow.
See you then. Go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.